the stream. My name is Lee. Um, yeah, I was actually planning to start, like, I was all set to start it much earlier than this, and, I figured I had to hit the button or I wouldn't do it, so we're a little wonky right now, but we set up all the backdoor stuff. I just need to do a few things on this end, but we're gonna wait, because there's gonna be an ad break. First thing, hi, welcome, my name is Lee. Today is Greyhawk Day, so what I'm going to do is make sure that's closed, and then I'm going to bring up the Greyhawk wiki. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, every Wednesday, I do Greyhawk wiki editing. So that's fun. Let me just do one thing. Oh, also, if you mute this tab, because if I don't, everyone, Sig will come in my... he doesn't come as much as often because he's actually got, things he needs to work on, but, yes. But he'll yell at me, what was I gonna say? Yeah, there. No, why am I keep hitting comma? Beautiful. That is the never mind. Okay, so I'm putting up that I'm going live on the thingy. Yes. So, yeah, they're gonna start an ad break 5 minutes in. They usually do. It's a kind of the way the setup works. So, in the meantime, I'm putting Greyhawk together. Greyhawk on. Please don't do this to us. If Wi-Fi is gonna start being really nice. Okay, let's set this up a little bit just to so my computer has a tendency to get hot, and I don't think that's good for it. So we're propping it up to put airflow underneath. It's Greyhawk Online. Please don't be like this. It was fine, like, till a while ago. Anyway, see, it says it has excellent connection, but Greyhawk Online is being fuzzy. Okay, so, it might be the Greyhawk wiki itself. We don't know. So, I'm gonna keep going. But what I was going to say, well, I'll open up the freaking thing anyway, and if it doesn't, we'll read through. We'll do it anyway. Let's go, because that's not going to take any. That's going to take processing power, but not. What the heck is that? Sorry, it's very hard to you look at your files and you're like, okay. Oh, well, no, I'm not dealing with it. Yes, okay, come on. Downloads. Yes, I need to. Ava the Undying. Yep, that's the one. Beautiful. Okay. No, why are you... Right. Why are you being like that? Alright, let's see. Now, there we go. It is up, and Greyhawk Online is being slow, but, connection's timed out. Again. Okay, Greyhawk Online. We're gonna try something else. Let me try, because Discord seems to be working. Good morning! Yesterday my internet crapped out, so, there was that. But, okay, we're gonna have an ad break in 2 minutes. I'm gonna get... I think we're going to need an ice pack, is what we're going to need for here. We're going to need one of those, we're going to need better lighting, and we're going to need to close the door. Luckily, the roommate stepped out of the house, but we really do need to close the door. I just was in a state of head where if I didn't hit that extreme button right at then, I wasn't going to do it, so... I'd already wasted... And well, anyway, 10 minutes doing stupid stuff. So, but welcome on in. Good afternoon, indeed. I muted the Discord already, though. So there's that. And, oh, yes, I have to go to Greyhawk and tell them I'm streaming as well. If we don't have the Greyhawk Online working, which... Come on. Let me try something else. Okay, so other sites are working fine. Okay, okay, let's let's do this. So I think the Greyhawk wiki might just be fussy because my internet was definitely yesterday was a pain in the ass, but I think it might just be Greyhawk wiki today. So if we can't edit the wiki, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hang out anyway, and yeah, we're gonna hang out anyway. Okay, but the ad break is starting. So why don't I do this? I'm gonna bring Addie up because she's a cutie pie. I'm going to do better light source here, and then we're gonna close the door. And I'm gonna get something for the computer to make it cooler, and maybe some more water because hydration is important. I've been mixing it with cheap what flash hydration fluid, which I think is just electrolytes, kind of like Gatorade. Although it has both cane sugar and stevia in it, which is just a lot. But it it was on sale for 99 cents, and it has electrolytes, so I'm not gonna complain. But I've been cutting with water. Okay, so I'm gonna get water, windows to do the lighting, and we're gonna get ice pack for this. And close the door, and then we're gonna go through Greyhawk, and if Greyhawk Online is still, yeah, no, it's definitely a problem with them, which is unusual because yesterday was a problem with me. But, we're gonna do that, and then we'll go Greyhawk, I guess. If the thingy doesn't work, we'll do Greyhawk anyway. We'll just do it without, I mean, we could do it manually or something. Anyway, let's do that, for now. Give me a second. Timing. What a good girl. Oof. Ugh. Okay. Light. There was light. Right. Have access to ready access to it's right there. Water. No water down hydration. Prop computer up. I'm gonna put this underneath so it has okay. Okay. All right. Oh, here we are. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yay! All right, everyone. Welcome on in. Oh, yes, sorry. Let me just put Addie away. No, she's a good girl. Hello and welcome back. Mm, and still, I haven't changed my name and pronouns since we started. But I do have candy apple, strawberry ice cream, and key lime pie flavored high chews. A handful. There was a bag of them yesterday there. It was, no, Monday night I stopped at 7-Eleven on my way home because I missed the bus and had to walk from it. Anymore, so, that's on the hours though. So, you know, balance it out, maybe. Um, in any case, welcome on in. We are doing the thing. Okay. Um. Okay. So our plan, such as it is to do this. Yeah. Fair enough. Um. We're gonna try one more time to access the Greyhawk wiki. If that doesn't work, at least it's not. Well. At least it's not me this time. Cause my do that. Yes, we'll do that, and we'll go to Greyhawk Online. Um. Okay. Um. Okay. Okay. Let me go to wiki chat. Legends. No, we're gonna go to. Um. Let's see. Um. Okay. Um. If I can't do that. Okay. So I'm telling Greyhawk Online community that I'm live. Um. And then Okay. Let me just see if we can't. Um. Let's see. Um. Yes. Um. All right. If it is just Greyhawk Online overall, it's down. We can probably get a link from Kit or something. But if not, hey, 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 ye. Oh, you did. Welcome on in. Um, and Author Beth, welcome. Author Beth is got friend. Oh, by the way, I haven't done this yet. We're part of Game of Tomes, and I was doing editing this morning partly for that. Welcome in, Beth, friend and fellow Sarapod bodyguard. In the lore, I have my godson of Leo Hawk, very creative, who is fighting for the to protect the Dino King from the undead in stuff. Yes. Yep. Yeah. In that case, I am gonna try something a little wonky. We're gonna try something fun. Um. All right. So, I think it still counts as light editing because I'm still copying it over. But what we're gonna do, and I can still let's see. We're gonna start with basics for this. So what I'm gonna do, you ready? I'm gonna do something a little fun and wonky. Um, all right. You see if you can do that. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is go to there. We're gonna open this up, and we're gonna have a writer document, Word document. And then I think that should give us the. It's always a little. Not any good. Maybe this one. Maybe a little more. Okay, this is the. Yeah. Okay, no. We're gonna have to put it here at the edge because that's where. Just a little bop down. There we go. It's just a hop to the left, and then a step to the right. Put your hands on your hips. Sorry. And tuck your knees in tight. Making. No, not that one. I don't know what that is, even that we're nudging. Okay. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. Okay, now we just have to bump it up to like 16-point font so we can still read. And then I want Times New Roman. Now that I'm thinking of it first time, let's go here. a little silly. All right, now we have a Word document. And what we can do in the Word document is we can go to our, yes, so it's going to be the same thing where we have, this, no, that's not that one, that's the flag, video, background, where's Libra? There we go, LibreOffice. So this is our source book. For those of you unfamiliar with Greyhawk in Shenanigans, it is a, let's see, where do we, table of, we want to go to the Roxas. So, Roxas is the land of the Overking, everything undying. I got that. So, let's see if I remember correctly, and see how we do this with this. So we're gonna go Tower of the Dead, Red Dragon. These are Royal Guild of Merchants. We're gonna go back to all of these and put them in the Roxas article, which we're working on. Basically every, it's the editing the wiki. So personalities. So Commander of the Companion Guard, more okay, Foltus, Elastmorinth. Okay, we got Patriarch General Pyrandon. Rilicandrin is okay. High Priest of Bacab. Okay. Let's start with Overking Gypsinger. Okay, so let's see. Appearance, personality, let's see. Description, personality and appearance. Undercity, yes. Okay. So why don't we go? Let's start with Darlak Ruhek. Let's see. Darlak Ruhek. Alright, so we got this. Now, usually what they start with the, so when you start the articles, what you do is, it's usually, basically there's a paragraph about, there's usually intro paragraph. So our intro paragraph will say, what is the intro paragraph? Oh yeah, I should be able to, no, not that one. Hi, still here. There we go. That shows you what we're doing. So, let's see. Two-handed sword, which does double damage. Ooh. 2d10 or 66 plus... Okay. He has a freaking sword that does 66 plus 8. Okay, that's in... there's a section for magical items, and that is definitely plus 4. Yeah, it's magical. Good alignment against creatures of good alignment. Okay, now that is fun. Composite longbow plus 2 sheaf arrows. Arrows of slaying, one each for good aligned priests, mages, warriors, and one for good aligned fairy. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Huge heavy warhorse with a horseshoe Zephyr. 32 Princeling of Nalix. Commander of the Guard. Okay. He's also a cousin. Alright, so he does not have a title, though. So Darlak, let's make sure we spell his name right. Gross and Grottle is when we learned that not spelling someone's name right when you do this is a big thing. Let's see. Rue. Heck. Yes. Yes. Is the of Ivid's personal. Ivid fifths. And we'd obviously put, I think what we do it like this. I suppose you could put the, like, apostrophe. If you really wanted to get fancy, you could do the apostrophe. Oh, Sir I see you being silly in the chat. Oh, yeah, so the chat is on this side for my interface and that side for the other one. So I don't know which side is on for you. I guess it depends on what your interface is. I suppose I could bring up the stream in another tab and, like, figure it out, but... Oh, wow, the computer's... Okay. Basically, it's overheating, so I actually should put a little protective, because it is condensating underneath the desk. Basically, my protective theory on my computer to keep it from overheating is it's a laptop. So what I've done is I've propped it up. Come here. So I feel like we could have fixed the other computer or something. I don't know. But basically what I've been doing is I've been propping it up on balancing it on the little mini wooden jewelry box I have, so that it's sitting like that much above the desk, except for that one tiny piece that's balanced. It is a little tricksy, but it works. And then you put an ice pack under the. You put one of these cold pack and a little cloth to protect the desk, and you stick it underneath. Oh, I just added that. Basically, you stick it underneath that so that it has air circulation, but the air has coldness in it. I don't know if that helps or not, but you know. Oh, right, we're supposed to be checking by time. So, um, what I've been doing is we're getting a stopwatch. Suppose I could use the phone for that. Stop. Yeah, I think that might be. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna try that. That was my plan for the other stream. So we'll go put it on. We could put it here, and then it wouldn't be looking down when I checked it. Clock. Stopwatch. Put it here. Then essentially what we're doing is we're creating a. Okay, let's yeah, so while the Greyhawk server is down, basically I'm creating the Greyhawk article on a Word document, and then it will give us kind of a basis for copying and pasting over. I'm going to try to organize it like you do the wiki documents, essentially. Then it'll be all typed out when we get access to the wiki again, and I can create the article there, essentially. I don't know if that'll work, but let's see. If the this is how Rue does library articles for the GOT wiki, essentially, is she doesn't do the formatting well, so she types them out and then hands it to Sable, who does the formatting, but I can do the formatting for this wiki. The World Landfill style wiki is, I'm not used to it yet. I'm getting better. Vids, personal companion guard, companion Eon guard, and a cousin, a princeling of House Nalix, means he's, and a cousin of Ivid's. Yes. Heavy Roan Warhorse. Okay, 32 princeling of Nalix. Since the Pact of Greyhawk was signed, I don't know if Pact of Greyhawk, is a princeling of Nalix and a cousin, a minor princeling, a minor princeling. Um, Princeling is not recognized by any spell checker as a word, but it's fairly common throughout the wiki. It basically means throughout the Greyhawk source material, basically means like a minor cousin to a royal house, and therefore doesn't like have a title or anything, but he kind of, you know, he doesn't have any kind of real title. Greyhawk, or in the Great Kingdom rather, prince is a rather loose title that anyone who has any kind of control over land, which in a lot of other places would be like a duke or something. Basically, any cousin to a noble house and that has a scrap of land to his name, which would probably be like a duke or a baron or someone, you know, that they would have other titles and other. But in Great Kingdom, they're all princes essentially. So princeling is just, yes, he's a cousin. I mean, he doesn't have any land. Or I don't even know if it's has land. Yeah, I think the title is kind of taken by those who have land more often. Especially because he has a commander. He has a separate title. But a princeling of House Nalix. A cousin. A minor princeling of House Nalix. That's the house that Ivid's part of. That made the deal with Belzerophon, the demon. And House Nalix is spelled Naelix. Minor princeling of House Nalix. Okay, yes. He has been the commander of the companion guard in Roxas. Roxas since the signing of the. I'm gonna put Pact of Greyhawk. We can't check the. That's part of having the wiki down means you can't check. When I do these double brackets, fun story. They yes. Yeah, those things. It's the same ones that are doing World Anvil. They're trying to crawl the wiki for data, and a lot of no one wants them to crawl the wiki because they're using the data to train uh, LLMs, and uh, But yes, so they're trying to stop that, and um, yeah, eh, it is what it is. Oh, but yes, the since signing of the Pact of Greyhawk. So basically, when I put it in those two brackets, it means that if we're writing on the wiki, that links it to the other wiki page of whatever's in the brackets. And there's a way to do that that lets you put different text in the link. There's a way to do that in World Anvil too. But essentially, Pact of Greyhawk. I'm learning how to do that. But yeah, the double brackets. I don't know what the Pact of Greyhawk is, but I'm assuming that it's something that's referenced. It either has a wiki page, if not, we're going to have to make one at some point. So we'll put it in. That's I don't know what that's called technically, but there's a lot of that where you just put it in brackets and say, okay, we are definitely going to make a page on that later. A lot of with names, like you'll see the names, and you'll be like, okay, hang on, he's in the base. You know, like a lot of these guys, we put their names in brackets when we did earlier wiki pages, and then we're gonna go back and make pages for them later. Including, I think we went to another page and put Will Candron's name in brackets because he was, or was it Chipsinker? Because we were like, ah, yes, no, he got mentioned in another wiki page. Hang on. Oh, right. So Ishkan. All right. So we're going back here. Let me. Yes. Darlak Ruhek. All right. So usually the next section is description, which is then appearance and personality, and that's usually first the first two. And it would help if we spelled them right. Those are usually the next two sections in the wiki. So appearance is, let's see, commander of the guard, 6'4", black-haired man with jaundice complexion. Okay, so let's see. Darlek is under. I wonder if he goes by commander as like his usual title. Like is 6'4", with a jaundice complexion. Complexion. How do you spell that? Complex. Oh, that complexion. All right, now we're learning spelling. Yeah. Okay. Complexion. Periodic outbreaks of sores over his back and shoulders. Um. I feel like that's from the same condition. Outbreaks of sores. Let's see. Um. 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 Is painful outbreaks. Periodically. Yeah. So that is not how you spell that. Okay. Periodically. Um. Uh. Which is noted to be similar to those suffered by Ived. Interesting. The Overking. I wonder if you capitalize Overking. Um. He has black hair. Okay, wait, well, let's see. Black hair, permanently jaundiced. Okay. Um, let's see. Uh, with black hair and has okay. And has. I think we use present tense. So jaundice complexion also comes. Painful outbreaks, yes. Yes, so he has the complexion. It causes the jaundice complexion, I'm pretty sure. Um, ended the Greyhawk Wars. Okay, so the question then becomes, should I link Pact of Greyhawk? All right, so it's the treaty that. Okay, Overking, not the. All right, Kit is an expert at this. She basically runs the wiki. They're kind of like, I think Grand Poobah of the Looky Stuff Up people is the title we gave you. Basically runs the wiki. Suffered by the Overking, which is known to be similar to those suffered by the Overking. Yes. Um, Treaty of, they both work. Okay, so I'm gonna say the Pact of Greyhawk. The question, well, that's okay. I'm gonna say Treaty of Greyhawk if it's more. But my question was more, is EAT does treaty have its own? Do you know if the treaty has its own wiki page, or should I just link the wiki page to the Greyhawk Wars and pipe it? That's the question. Because if the treaty has its own wiki page, then we can link to that, and then Pact of Treaty is, if there's a redirect, or if we have to put, change the wording, or is it just mentioned in the Greyhawk Wars, like, oh, we signed this pact and then the wars were over? So that means he was appointed fairly recently, right? Because the Ivid is the source book says it lists the condition of uh, the Great Kingdom and the former Great Kingdom and areas that were formerly in the Great Kingdom. Uh, Actually, no, because it was the pre-breakup of the Great Kingdom. So yeah, it really started breaking up once Ivid got the yeah, that's when the real breaking part happened. So a lot of these are provinces in the Great Kingdom until Ivid gets boomed. As well as the wars separately. Okay, so if there is a treaty first, the treaty has its page, then we'll put Treaty of Greyhawk, because that way it will link to the page properly. Let's see. Okay, so Darlak is snuffed by the Overking. Doesn't seem to say anything else about that. If there's something else noted. Yes. Fear and cold controlled sadism. Thrown in his lot with Ivid because he has reasons correctly that if Ivid falls, his life won't be worth copper common. Yeah, that's true. If Ivid falls, random house Nalix princeling with no land to fall back on is screwed. So he's just like, all right, well, I will protect Ivid, and then that makes sense. Okay. We might put that in the okay. Let's see. It is not possible they might become a turncoat. He is clever, though not creative. Military commander. We could put that in the rumors. I don't know if people have rumors and legends sections, but we could put one in there. He is clever, though not creative. Military commander, leading an elite pursuit squad of dozen cavalry, all of whose stallions have some magical horseshoes as his own mount. Fun. Dispatched rarely, this squad has a superb record for bringing back those who have managed to flee Roxas for suitable punishment. I don't know if that's the command. Ooh, interesting. Oh, so they all have redirects essentially. Okay, that's good to know. Um, we'll put Treaty of Greyhawk, but it's good to know that they have redirects. Is what I'm gathering. Um, yeah. Then the rumor seems to be that he might turn code if he is guaranteed safety. Essentially, I don't know if that counts as a rumor, but that's it's thrown up. They have so in the Ivid source book, I'll show you. I'll show the rest of you guys too. Basically, they have sections of like little helpful DM hints that are like, oh, this person could be turncoat if so that they kind of it's things that the DM can feed their players to kind of encourage plot. Because it is a RPG book, that's why they have stats for everyone. But they also have like, hey, he could be a turncoat if you were to offer him something. presumably. I think that seems to be what it is. I don't know if that counts as a rumor so much. Mm. And that seems to be something. And yeah, the rumors, um, in this case, seem to be he could be a turncoat. I don't know if that's in-universe rumors or just DM hints that if the players could try something. Um, and whether it should be noted or not in the wiki. Since signing of the Treaty of Greyhawk. Ad break. Okay. I'm gonna let the ad break play. The reasoning is that it takes off pre-roll ads for us, so having no pre-roll ads is good. Um, so, and it'll give me a chance to stretch. Known to be cold sadist. Put that there. Okay, that was what we said. It's cold sadism. Let's see. Uh, and clever. Is said to be clever, but not creative. Not creative. Okay. Um, yeah, we're gonna do countdown. So, um, I will put a picture of Addie up, and yes, the pre-rolls are off, and they will stay off as long as I do this. So, it doesn't tell you how long they'll stay off because that would be obviously a bit much, but, okay, we'll do that. A tactician. Um, skilled as a tactician. Tactician. He's got tactics and skilled as a tactician. What else we got? Okay. All of whom have okay, so they basically um uh there's a possession. There's a possession section for magical. Apparently the ad's being weird about it, and not starting, which is interesting, but you know. Okay, here we go. Let me just stop that. Bip ad up. Let me stretch. I will be back in a minute. I'm supposed to be taking some pumps. Yep. Okay, I'm back. More or less. I think this is right about timing. I'm not sure in the exact timing, but yep, I think we just about the timing. It's my periodic reminder that if you need to take meds, you should probably take them. I forgot my Adderall this morning. Um, if you don't need to take meds, don't worry about it. But it's like, oh yeah, these are things we need to do. That is very, very easy to forget, especially Adderall. Allegedly, it's addictive, but most people I know who take it are like, "Did I take this morning? Did I remember to do this?" And a lot of times the answer is no. And then you're like, of course I did, because I need my Adderall to actually remember how to things. And Yeah, it's a vicious cycle. But okay, welcome back, everyone. Just yeah, rinse, hydrate, all the good stuff. Take care of yourselves. Okay, back to work. Let's see. Skilled as a tactician. I was gonna say clever, not skilled as a tactician. Um, okay, right. Um, um, okay, that's personality. Possessions. There's a section for magical items in the wiki. Actually, let's try the wiki. Let us try this. Essentially what we do, go here and we click new window, so that way I can put it up without as a window display. We go to Greyhawk online. Let's do this real quick and see if that helps. Okay. Um, Now we wait for loading. Yes, I have cheese. Also, as a tasty treat. Um, no, um, still getting a connection has timed out message, which is frustrating. I'll show you actually. Oh, oh, fun. Um, let's try that again. There we go. You could get a peek behind the curtain. Mm. I could try this one more time. And also, if that won't work, we could bring up Anna's maps as a visual. But mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Um, Meantime, let us go like this. All right. So, um, and then we'll show this again. Right. So possessions. There's usually a section for um possessions that you don't list everything they own, but for example, a very distinctive armor, very distinctive sword, a magical sword that does double damage against good people. That is mm-hmm, um what he has. Two-handed sword plus 4. And usually um uh Darlax, yes. Main weapon is a two-handed sword plus 4. Um and generally if it's a magic item, what you do is you put 2 apostrophes. The reasoning behind that is um, it's a coding thing, it'll make it italic. And so generally the stylist guide here, I'll show you, even in here, it's in, it follows the same stylized as, ooh wait, he has fiend armor plus 3. It's the same theory of two-handed sword plus 4. So essentially, if you have a magic item and it's a well-known magic item, like a plus 3 great sword or something, or plus 4, but you basically put it in italics. I don't know if you can see. Let me, this one. See, it says composite longbow. Ooh, plus 2. So basically, it's a magical item, so it gets in italicized. And keep it like this, actually. Um, Yeah, a two-handed sword. So how you do that in the wiki is you put two apostrophes. It looks kind of like quotation marks, but they're not. You have two apostrophes, which essentially just makes it like that. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so it's two, which has the additional property of doing twice as much damage. I don't know. I'm always a little on the fence about whether you put stats into wiki articles about stuff. There's some. There are cases to be made either way, but anyways, as a regular +4 sword against twice as much damage. Um, um, and um, so fun fact, where it says here, 2d10 plus 8, or 66 plus 8. The I like where it says that essentially in earlier editions of the game, I don't know if all of you know this, but in earlier editions, weapons did more damage against creatures that were of large size. That's a standard thing. Even non-magical weapons, just across the board, almost exclusively did more damage against large-sized creatures, and larger, presumably. But so my guess is that the two-handed sword does, um, a two-handed sword in general does a d10 or 2d6, depending on if the creature is size medium, like a human, or size large, like an ogre or something. The and then it does, or 3d6. Okay, so it does 3d6 against large and a d10 against small. That's pretty good damage actually. But and then it does 2d10 or 66 plus 8 because the +4 from being a +4 sword. Mm. It's the double damage. Um, an interesting notation note because I know a lot of people um, only play the newer editions where they got rid of that more damage against big creatures thing. So the notation might be a little weird to note, but that is that notation. That's what that notation means. Okay, twice as much damage against good aligned creatures. Okay. He also has a bow. It's two. Composite longbow. Actually, 18. I don't know what the /81 is, but 18. Let's see, Dex 17, Concept, Wisdom 17. They never give you a full set of stats. That's the another frustrating thing about this is that they never give you a full set of stats. They give you the ones that are higher than average and or relevant to the the relevant to the class because he's right. We should note down. So there's going to be a box when we put this up on the wiki. There's going to be a box that will say that will ask for levels. That will ask human. He's human, and there'll be birth and death dates. You can calculate those. You can calculate the birth date in any way case by he was 30 in. Oh, we should put that down on the notes. Hang on. You can calculate that by saying, well, okay, he was 32 in um 585 common year. So you can math out the birthday from there. So actually, let's do that. We'll put a little parentheses here as notation. Box info. And there's going to be, so basically when you bring up the formatting, there's a sidebar that comes up that you fill in, and then whatever info is in whatever you put in there shows up in a little box to the side, essentially. I don't know. I think there's a technical term. But it comes up as formatting in the front, and then you fill it in, and then you put all this other stuff, fill in the sections below, essentially. Um, let's see. Birthday is. Um, age is 32 in 585. Um, let's see. And that would, of course, have the parentheses usually when you do this because it links to the timeline. So if there's any, and it shows if it links to the section 585 in the timeline, then so if anything of note happened that year, it'll be in that section of the timeline and it'll link. And if there's nothing of particular note that happened that year, essentially it'll just show us. Okay, so birthday day is so I don't know his exact birthday. I very rarely do, but if we do bring up a calculator and do 585 minus 32, so 553. 553 CY. I don't know if anything else happened there that would be in the timeline, but we'll put it there, and then if there is anything in the timeline, it'll link to the page in the timeline, and if not, it'll just turn out as a red link. And then you can take the linking out, maybe, depending on vibes, or leave it up in case there new lore drops, or there's some, thing that someone puts in. Oh yeah, actually it mentioned in this book that this happened, and we just didn't put it on the wiki yet, which is the entire purpose of what I do is, oh yeah, there's this book. That's why I was looking for, let's try Greyhawk. Essentially I was looking for information on Relastra, and I was like, there's gotta be something, right? No, not Relastra. Relastra has a decent page, or had one. Roland, Nancy. It was like, oh, there's these other two towns. And neither of them had pages, and I'm like, so is there just no information? I mentioned it on the Greyhawk Quick, and like, oh no, if it has a whole section on those guys, and those towns, and I was like, well, really? So I got my hands on a copy of Vivid the Undying, and started looking through, and yeah, they have whole sections on this stuff. It is just that just never got put in the wiki, and has a lot of other stuff that never got put in the wiki, including large swaths of information about Roxas and Darlak Ruhek. Although he might. Sometimes you'll, like, about one in every, like, 5, I go to make a page, and, oh, it's there anyway. Composite longbow, and is known to carry, arrows of slaying for good line priest, and is known to carry let's see, arrows, sheaf arrows, +2. I'm not sure quite. +2. Along with um, one um, of slaying for let's see, one each of good aligned priests, mages, and warriors, and one for any good aligned some for good aligned priest. So essentially, arrows of slaying, good aligned. Okay, priests. All right. Essentially, arrows of slaying just give you a bonus type against particular creatures, and apparently this is priests, good aligned priests. One for good aligned mages. So, which I guess if you were running a more modern game, you might say wizards or sorcerers would work on either wizards or sorcerers, or just wizards. I guess it would depend on how you wanted to parse the between editions, how you would want to do that, but definitely wizards, if not also sorcerers. Mm. Okay, Haichu, dessert, Haichu's really good. Line mages, one for Um, um, and warriors. So I would guess that would work on any martial class. Fighters or I don't know, work on rangers, but we definitely work on fighters or paladins. I would say. Um, well, yeah, we work on fighters or monks. I would count those both as warriors. The other DM might be more stringent and say it only works on fighters, but I would expand it to monks or paladins. Personally, I mean, not rangers, but um, 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 fey creatures. Yeah, he has a specific arrow of slaying that does extra damage. A magical arrow. It does extra damage only on good aligned fairy creatures. It'll it arrows of slaying do actually count as magical attack for the purposes of damage resistance. Like if it's resisted to non-magical piercing or immune to non-magical piercing damage, it'll still count, and then it'll still count. And they do damage. Like if you get shot with one, it still hurts, but it does extra damage against the type of creature. So if you are out of arrows, you can use it, but you're basically wasting it if you don't use it against the creature type of that it comes with. And it's interesting. He has ones for good aligned people. One for good aligned fey creatures, which is a thing. Yes, he has a warhorse. I don't know if the warhorse would go under possessions, but I'm gonna say his warhorse has horseshoes of Zephyr. Down. Okay, the horse has magical horseshoes, which is kind of cool. I wonder as a if you played a centaur, which you can in later editions, if you could get you could equip them, and if they would work as a magic item. I'm sure you could, or even as a tiefling. That's a question though. If you're a tiefling and or Cambrian, right, and you're one of those types who have hooves instead of feet, because that is a possibility for player characters and stuff like 5e. Would you still be able to equip, or even as an NPC Cambrian, if they had hooves, could they equip Horseshoes of Zephyr? Or do you need all four? Do you have to have four hooves for this to work properly? If you only have two hooves, I mean, obviously, if you have a four-hooved creature and you only have two of them, that won't work. But if you only have two hooves, or like a satyr, for example, any creature, there's multiple creatures with two hooves. If you put two on and you only have two hooves and you're wearing two, do you still get the benefits? That is a DM adjuration. No, that's not the right one. Adjudication. That's the one. DM adjudication question. His warhorse has horseshoes of Zephyr. Okay. All right. I think maybe we can put. There's an abilities section. Which would. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Um. Let's see. It doesn't have any nationality listed. But it does. Race human. Uh. Human. There's an ethnicity one for, Sulois or whatever. They have different ones, but we don't know exactly other than he's from the Great Kingdom. Okay. Um, tall. Okay, so 20 great sword. Oh, Fiend armor +3. Um, let's see. He also has a um, um, to where how you format the paragraphs in this. Fiend armor +3. That's that. Okay. Fiend armor +3. Plate version. a full plate version. +3 plate mail. Plate armor. See, plate armor. Let's see. Sorry. Each year. Okay. Full plate. Presumably full plate. And does not wield a shield. I don't know if that's important, particularly. Not wield a shield. Right, because he fights. I don't even know this. He fights with a two-handed sword, so he can't do a shield with a two-handed sword. I guess you can do buckler on the arm, but he doesn't. So I don't think that's necessarily important. Applies together with. Okay, so Karulk, 3D Greyhawk. He well, let's see, along with he is in charge of security for the palace. Palace of the Overking. Okay. He also I don't know if there's a different section of this, but he also leads personally a small squad, an elite of cavalry, who, let's see, in chasing down an elite squad of about a dozen cavalry. Those attempting to flee Roxas. Okay, okay, yes. To flee Roxas. Attempted to flee Roxas, yes. I think we can put in the horses of every, the other, in his personal squad. Okay. Um, let's see. um, yeah. Um, 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 all right. Um, certainly purely. Um, um, practical reasons. He is said to be clever but not creative and skilled as a tactician. Um, for self-preservation reason. Let's go with There we go. Self-preservation reasons. He is clever, creative, and skilled as a tactician. +4, heat armor, plane armor. Is everyone in the squad. Yeah, I think maybe rumors and legends section. Let's put that let's see what it is said, even if the said is breaking the fourth wall, that if that would betray of it. Um, if yeah, what is his price for betrayal? I mean, a lot of okay, pretty much any of his guys. There's very little loyalty. Well, they're all evil, so loyalty is fickle. But um, yeah, exactly what would it take to convince him to betray of it? And the answer is what's his price? And this price is safety, essentially. If he could, which is an interesting price, like safe, guaranteed, safe haven. Um, okay. Somewhere far away from Roxas. Um, all right. Let's do that. Let me save. Um, Dar. Uh, I'm gonna do that. It's safe. Essentially what? Oh yeah, I'll show. Hang on. So essentially, what I've done is I basically named here. I'll show you guys. I named and saved the Word document, which will then be able to be later. Um, we're far from access. Anything else we missed? All right, hey, let me take a stretch break. There's Addie. If you're a sub, you can see her. She's a good girl. Um, oh shit. That one. All right. All right. Boom. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. I forgot to start the. I basically left it running for a minute, so we're gonna dock ourselves a minute. I think when we report my words. Oh, also, if you are um, okay, let me get another one. We're gonna do now that we've hit save. We're gonna go like this. I'm gonna try again with the wiki. If that one load, what we're gonna do? Actually, we can do them simultaneously because new. Text document. Yep. So essentially, we have. I hit save. I saved the notes. So, what we can do, and I think, interestingly enough, yeah, it still shows. So I have the new document open, and it still shows the old document. So that's interesting. But if I do that, it'll now show the blank one. Yep. Okay. So I did hit save, um, essentially, and basically, if I can get the wiki back up, we can just copy paste it, and it'll be pretty easy. So my next theory on this is what we're gonna do is go here. I'm gonna go. The next one is no, that's not that one. This one. Okay. So the next one is Elast Boraneth, priest of Foltest. Oh, is a mere 22 years old, 5'9". Oh wow, he's young. Curing disease both by spell and by virtue of otherwise humble mace +1, which has power once a week. Ooh, he has a magic mace that can cure diseases once a week. That's cool. Okay, hang on. Let me briefly bring this back. Recent documents. Race human. Level class. They do have a section for that, so I just want to note that down before we forget. Is blah 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 blah. 16th level fighter. Um, he's a 16th level fighter. Okay. Um, all right. Yeah, 16th level fighter. It's safe. Okay. Now we go to new text document. Okay, Nicholas. Yep, that's how we do. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I added that. All right. Now, so our next one is he is a priest of Foltest, 6th level. Quite simple. So what if you escaped their doom here, but he isn't easily deceived. He's wary of any offer of help, fearing imperial spies. Um, Extensive maps of the Undercity, knows a handful of other good-aligned refugees. Discuss those in the slums or the Undercity. The DM should consider what he wants to contract these contacts to be. Okay, yeah. So if you're gonna have your players go to Roxas and find this guy, you're gonna have to figure out who he has as contacts that he can then add to the players. Okay, so basically, let's see what else we got. Okay, so same theory. I'm gonna start. Okay, I do want to end the stream soon, but I'm going to start one more. We're gonna have let's see, Elias. Right, hang on. Scooch over a little more. So, no, not that. Back down. Oh, and then citation would be oh, another one. Yeah. Open recent. Um. Yep. B citations are um site source book. If the um basically this is just a shortcut, but really um right, no, it's basically 36. Okay, basically so we remember the page number when we want to do citations. I mean, I can type this out easily enough. Um but basically if we want to, usually you would put popping after every, a few paragraphs or any distinctly, you put your citations so you know where it's coming from. And if you have more than one source, or the usually it's secondary pages, but because basically we and then oh right, we have to put and then you put it in the bibliography, the IVID one. But essentially internal citations then link if you have a known source book that's listed on the site's source books, you can then click through all the citations and say, that comes from there. Okay, let me hit save, and let me start this the timer up again. Essentially, I shut it down because we were break, but I didn't. Okay, I'm restarting it. And then I guess then that evens out what I spent not doing it, so we can round up. Right, we go new, and this time we mean it. My plan is go to. I wasn't showing you all the citations, but basically the citations are kind of like this. Here, I'll show site source book, and in a Word document it doesn't do anything, but it essentially um, or Um, but I could copy paste it, or even if I couldn't copy paste it, just a reminder of how we might set it up. I think it's 37. Does that go on to the next page? Oh, yes, it does. So, L-E asked, I'm going to go asked, more Oneth. Okay. I think what we're going to do is box. Yeah, I'm going to, let's see. Yep. Okay. A mid-level, say level 6 is no slouch. Priest of who managed to escape. If it's purge, and tends to Viper tenements, which of Roxas. Okay, I'm gonna save. I guess we're going. Basically, we're doing that. I am gonna end the stream, I think. But basically, yeah. Priest, Fultus, you managed to escape. It's 10 minutes of Roxas. And then age. He's how the heck is he? He's only 29. Uh, simple soul. 22. Wow, he's only 22. My race. No. Human. Um. Human, and then we have human, and what was I gonna say? He is human, and he is sandy blonde hair and light hazel eyes. Probably Sulo's descent, but we're gonna leave that if it doesn't specifically say that. Well, okay. Yep. Okay. So, yeah. And basically, he's a 6th level cleric or priest. Okay. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna say that's enough for today. But hopefully, when next Wednesday, when everything's it opens up again, we can just copy paste, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, 45. All right. So, in the meantime, thank you all for coming to the stream. Appreciate it. We will close this out. Oh well. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, thank you all for coming. Tomorrow we'll do another stream. Let me see. Oh yes, if anyone is writing for Greyhawk, bring out your words. Forgot. Bring out your words. Um. Oh. That is. Wait. Okay, that does not do anything. What I meant to do was this one. I think it won't. I don't think it'll. Tome Knight will just. Yeah, that's what I meant to do. I hit the wrong one. Um. Yeah, bring out your words. Bring out your words, everyone. Yes, and don't be like me and actually put numbers in. So what? I think that won't do any good. If you don't put a number in, it will just not do that. So What we do is 46, 15 times 46. So this amount of time I actually spent on that. So 690 of light edits is how we count, because we're not actually doing, writing necessarily. I mean, copying information over, citations. There's a lot of stuff like that. Um, so I'm putting that out for my words. If you are writing forgot and don't have another stream open, another tab, you should put your words in the next few minutes, or we will be lost forever. Um, yeah, and basically, if you know how many you do, you have to go to Sable and be like, hey, so I was in Lee's stream earlier, and they ended the stream before I could, and he told me, and I forgot, now I missed it, and can you do it? And she'll say probably something like, yes, okay, how many words, and etc. But, she'll almost certainly allow it, but you really don't. Yeah, it's just put your words in for the stream you're in. That's the rule. So if you are in the stream and don't have another one open, another tab, and you've been writing, forgot, you need to put your words in now, essentially. For the rest of you, thank you for coming anyway. I appreciate it, hanging out with all of you. You guys are awesome. Kit and Sig and the rest, whoever else is. We have other people watching too who are not saying in chat. Yeah, thank you. Add your words too if you have any. Now's your chance. But yes, add your words if you have them. And I'm going to end the stream, but thank you all for being awesome. You guys are cool. Take care of yourselves. I mean it. Have water, liquid, hydrate. If you're in the southern hemisphere, bundle up. If you're in the northern hemisphere, God help you, it's so hot up here. There's heat waves all over the place. It's bleh. But yeah, let me go rating. Where are we going? Why doesn't it automatically search it for following? I feel like that should. Mumbuski's live, but we are a lot of fun people are alive. But Bear Boo is, she's cool. Okay, yeah, there are some fun people who are alive right now, but we are going to, because it is Got, we're going to raid Got people today. Sable, so we are raiding Sable. Let's go raid Sable. Everyone say hi. And stream ending. Wait, why is her stream ending? It's 3 o'clock. All right, we're gonna raid into Sable anyway, and let's go. And then we can raid into whoever Sable raids into along with. So everyone come along, say hi to Sable, tell her how cool she is, and if she raids into someone else, she is really ending and not starting, and didn't mess up the screen, which I think is more likely. You can raid into whoever she raids into. So let's go. Everyone come along.